All right, man. So y'all already know what we here to talk about. Like Dave said, he gave y'all a quick little synopsis of what we gonna touch on today. But we got to start off with one of the best teams in the NFL. I mean, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Look, everybody looked up as soon as I said that. Look, look, look. So you know we talking about the Cowboys just by everybody's face. You can tell we talking about the Cowboys, and we got to talk about that Monday night victory. You know the Cowboys did Cowboy s things. No interceptions, unlike some other teams. But some would say the Bolts were thunderstruck. So we got to say, man, did the Cowboys prove anything to you by that win? And we're gonna start with me. So for me, I'm gonna say no, it didn't prove anything to me. I just clearly said that this team can bounce back after a loss. Also, the fact that if you put Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy, if you fuse them together, I don't know how many people watch Dragon Ball Z, but if you fuse them two together, you may have the ultimate play caller. Because for one, I've never seen Kellen Moore throw a screen pass until yesterday. But I also know that, hey, he can scheme some people open. Look at Keenan Allen. Look at my man Palmer. It just seemed like the middle of the field was wide open all night for the Chargers. Also, it seems like the Dallas defense can answer at times. Secondary still a little shaky. We miss you, Trayvon. Come on back, man. But they can answer when it's time to. Michael was asleep the whole game. Then he woke up. I guess he was like having a lion's nap. I don't know. But to me, now they really didn't prove anything because I told you after that 49ers game, I'm not going to get too high on this team. Also, I'm not going to get too low. I'm going to just let the season play out. Dave?
Sound like me right now.
Yeah.
You sound like how I am when it comes to the Niners. But nah, they ain't proved nothing to me. I mean, they do what they always do. They beat up on bad teams, then they beat pretty good teams, and lose against the teams out of Super Bowl contenders. That's just how it is. It's really no different. I mean, I guess the only team that you can say that they can beat is the Eagles because they've proven that. But other than that, I mean, they ain't proving nothing else. What in order for the Cowboys to prove anything to me, they need to win past the divisional round of the playoffs. That's the only way they could prove something to me. But Dak played a good game last night. CD was open, and everything happened in the game is exactly as I said it was on Friday. Friday, I said Michael was going to show up, CD was going to have a good game, and they was going to win, and that's exactly what happened. So, nah, they ain't proving nothing to me. I I have I don't have too much to say about that, but they did what they were supposed to do. They only allowed 17 points, so the defense stepped up like they were supposed to. They're still it's I still believe that they're a top five defense. It's just they're missing one of their best players. Trayvon Diggs is out, and that's a big miss because now you got Bland on the other side, and you got someone. Stephon Gilmore is still good, but he's not where he used to be. He hasn't been there for a few years now. So I mean, I don't know what anyone else expected from them from last night's game. Um, and that's not to take credit away from the win, but I mean, I expected them to bounce back. I said that they would, and that's what happened.
Yeah, 10-1. Carl?
So to me, the Cowboys didn't really prove anything to me. Great win by the Cowboys, nonetheless. Don't want to take anything away from that. But they did play a good game. And Dak, I will say Dak proved something to me because the run game was honestly non-existent last night for both sides, Chargers and Cowboys. And Dak was just making plays on the run. He should have had more points. They should have had more points than they actually put up. We had drop passes by Michael Gallup. I think Cooks dropped the pass. He did miss Jake Ferguson up the same on one play, but hey, I'll take one miss over five drops, six. I'm probably exaggerating the amount of drops, but Michael Gallup did have drops nonetheless. But good game by Dak. I almost say great game by Dak. I'll say great game by Dak. Great game by CD. CD was open, making timely catches, making plays. Gotta have. For personal reasons, I needed him to find the end zone, but for objective reasons, he had a pretty great game. But no, it didn't prove anything to me. They did let up 4 sacks to the Chargers, I believe, which is not great at all, especially with you saying that the O-line was actually healthy, but it's only their second game together, so the continuity isn't necessarily there yet. But no, they didn't prove anything.
I know you about to turn up. Go ahead, Von.
You always got after drop some Carl.
He dropped a touchdown.
I'm just saying you an expert at it. You an expert at this point. God, yeah. Okay. Did the Cowboys prove something to me? Yes. You know what they proved? Their offense offense is still dynamic. That's what it proved. Even though they played passing yard per game, team defense, this is the sense I'm talking about. You know, we got a guy in the chat, one of our boys, Big O, my dog.
Oh, you going in and
Last
out,
week,
man?
They
Yeah,
definitely going in and out.
your sound going in and out.
Yeah, and you got some bars coming, so I know you going in and out.
how am I sounding now?
You good
It's
now?
good now. It just got to stay good.
That's what
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
do.
that's a shot.
It wasn't.
All right, so I just took the AirPod off, so let's rock with it like this. So you know, we got a guy in our chat, our boy Big O. You know, that's our guy. You know, fellow Cowboy make the Tomo. I told him last week. I said, you know what's missing from your offense? You know what's missing? That's helps Dak. Tony Pollard in the passing game. Now, when Tony Pollard was killing, it wasn't because of his runs. Like he was down every back running. It was him taking them 5-yard catches, them screen passes, and getting them big bursts. What did he do yesterday? 60-yard catch. That's the missing element to your offense, if you ask me. Now y'all trying to make Pollard this every down back, which I don't think that's his game. You know, he can be a every down back, but I think the best part about him is his explosiveness when he gets them passes. Now, I'm gonna agree with you as well, Carl. I think Dak also proved something to me that he's not just that typical stand in the pocket quarterback. He's that quarterback that we once known him for when he first came into the league. A guy that got some kind of wheels, a guy that can make things happen with his legs. And he was doing that a lot, improvising, stepping out of the pocket. So we know the Cowboys defense is legit. The question is, since they lost Kellen Moore, a lot of stats have dropped. However, they showed yesterday they can still be dynamic, and that's one thing they proved to me.
Can I step in real quick? I do want to point out the fact that because I think Dave brought him up. DeRon Bland balled last night. DeRon Bland balled. I don't know if he could consistently do that on a game-to-game basis, but last night he balled.
He been doing it. I mean, that's the rookie from last year. 6 interceptions. I'm just saying, you know. Some of our stats did go down, Vaughn, but one stat that did go up is our third down percentage. When Kellen Moore was here in our first 6 games, we was at like 32. This year with Mike McCarthy, we had like 48%. So that went up. So that's one of the things. And it will go up a little bit more if Dak keep doing what he did with that read option and hold on to the ball and actually run. So
Mississippi State, man. That had number one using the leg.
Dak
and Robinson.
You gotta use his talent to your advantage. That's what they need to do. And Dak need to learn, like, hey, you a vet quarterback now. You've been in the league for 8 years. Do what you got to do so you can make a play.
Yeah, I heard somewhere they was like Dak Prescott is natural prototypical quarterback. They said Dak Prescott plays his best game when his jersey is dirty and he bleeding. He's an athlete. He's grimy. That's kind of what happened last night.
Hey, Tomo, can I ask you a question?
Shoot.
How do you feel about Mike McCarthy? Do you feel like he should give up play calling duties after these first 6 games to Shoddy, or do you think he should hold on to play calling duties?
Man, that's a good one. I mean, I'm in a tough bind with that one because I don't like the conservativeness that he got, like all that running in the halftime with field goals when you can actually go for a touchdown.
That's crazy, but that's a head coach's job right there. So that's not going to change.
But that's him saying that he got the post on the game because he really wasn't doing too much of that when Kellen Moore was calling the games. He was just sitting back. He really wasn't even being the head coach. He was just sitting back, letting Kellen Moore do his thing. So to me, I say after this Rams game, come back with that question, and I say that. Yeah.
Okay. Fair. After a bye week, that's fair.
Yeah.
One last question. Tony Pollard. This is because Vaughn brought it up. It's only because Vaughn brought it up. And I agree. I think they're trying to make Tony Pollard every down back when in reality, Tony Pollard is probably a great change of pace back.
Yes,
do you feel the same way? Do you feel like y'all still need an every down back and leave Tony Pollard as a change of pace back? Because I think they fell in love when Zeke would come out, Tony Pollard would gash for like 8 yards as a change of pace back, and we're not really seeing the same this year as a starter.
So with that question, that's a good question there, Carl. I feel like I'm in a press conference, so I'm gonna say this. Tony Pollard should be used more of like Alvin Kamara. I feel like they should do that with him. If they do that with him, then this offense would go to another level. Because remember when Drew Brees had Alvin Kamara, there's like sometimes he'll run. Yeah, we could use a Mark Ingram, but we got Hunter Limpy our fullback, and then we also got Rico Dowdle, who can give you those power runs. So that could be there, but to get that threat, and I'm glad Vaughn brought that up, is that threat there when Tony Pollard could just do a quick wheel route and almost scored a touchdown. Look, it was there. Go back to the Vikings game where he scored that big touchdown. That's another element.
Yeah, it's scary too.
Oh yeah. And we got any more questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay,
I'm good.
Felt like I was in a press conference. I was about to pull Jalen Hurts. You know, hungry dogs run faster.
Wow. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.